broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing after-shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Oh, you picked the song.
This is like from the episode. It's the fall ritual.
Oh my gosh, the steamy session.
Oh yeah, that was great. My favorite part.
When Jake and Lindy were going at it?
Yes.
That was an extended scene, I thought.
It was extended.
She's all like, let me unbutton the shirt.
It was really extended because she kept pausing, rewinding, and playing again.
So you enjoyed that scene. We're going to get into that. Hey, AfterBuzz fans, welcome to another after show for MTV's Eye Candy Season 1, Episode 9, For Your Eyes Only. I'm your host, Courtney Tezeno, and you guys can keep in touch with me at Teznos on Twitter and Instagram. Before I introduce my lovely co-host, be sure to head over to YouTube if you're not already there, and subscribe to us, give us 5 stars, and let us know what you thought about this episode. Be sure to use the hashtag ABTVEyeCandy on Twitter. Now to introduce my lovely co-host, let's start with the person next to me.
Hey guys, I'm Kristen Snyder. You can follow me at Cinematic Escape.
I think everything sounds better with a whisper.
Doesn't it?
Especially with this sensual music in the background.
Right?
Everything sounds better in life.
Hi, everybody. I'm Ryan Malaty. Nice to see you in there in the TV world. You can follow me at Ryan Malaty.
And hey guys, what's up? I'm Brittany Baldassari, and you can no longer watch me on the challenge anymore because I just got eliminated a couple episodes ago.
Oh man.
But you can follow me at Brittany Baldassari on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and check out BrittanyBaldassari.com.
Try to find her on Tinder, too.
I don't have Tinder.
I think Ryan made her an account. That's what he's basically saying.
I keep finding all these catfish. There's a lot of catfish.
Are you
in
getting
the city.
catfished?
He has
All the
an
time.
actual story.
All the time.
Oh my gosh.
We can get into that
Let's
later.
get into
All
it.
right.
Time.
Okay, so AfterBuzzers, this scene starts out with a scene. It looks like a graveyard, and we see that there are dead body boxes that are like numbered, and there's a lot of people that have fallen. So my initial reaction when I saw the hand in the box was that it was Sarah's hand.
Yeah, I mean, it had her tattoo on it.
Yeah.
So that
have
pretty
the
much,
tattoo?
it did. It showed the wrist and it said Sarah on her wrist. So in my mind, Sarah
That-
is in
That's
3034 box.
Yeah, I definitely thought that in the beginning, which was really sad. I hope that's not true and that's someone else's body. Ugh.
How cool was Hart Island, though? They said that
Hart Island was
the
awesome.
soil of the island is made up from the unclaimed dead of New York. Over 1 million bodies unclaimed. That's so sad. And then the guy went into
That's
that
not
whole
cool,
like
Kristen.
innocence is lost, and you don't know if the box is light, if it's a child. And what they were going to grow up to be. And I was just like, whoa, this episode
What I
already.
thought was really interesting was that the old man, the one that was burying them and digging them up, he straight up said, I'm so numb to this now that even if it's a baby, I have no emotions towards it. And I thought that was kind of interesting that he said that.
I mean, how do you get a job like that?
Right? It's crazy.
That's really.
He was in prison.
Okay, that makes a lot
So
of sense.
they often get
How do
allocated
you
the not
claim
so
a
fun
body?
jobs.
I don't understand all these unclaimed bodies. Where do you go to claim bodies?
Well,
I mean, once already buried, what can you do?
the
Like, they
thing
have all these like surplus dead bodies lying around. Does this actually happen? I want to know. Is this?
it does. It does.
Do they bury unclaimed bodies in mass graves somewhere? Is that how it works?
I mean, I don't know.
how it works, but it makes sense. I mean,
Yeah.
they have to bury them somewhere.
I don't understand why they don't just cremate them and get rid of them if nobody is there not claiming, you know what I mean?
I mean,
If they're not
but in
claiming the
situations
bodies.
like this, they kind of need the evidence of DNA still. So I understand why they keep the body just
Exactly.
in case for
So you think
future
they embalm,
cases.
they actually embalm the body, they don't just let it rot out?
I think they let them rot out. I think that's a lot of
Yeah, it did
effort
seem that
to-
way. But it
yeah.
makes sense that they keep the body whole in case someone claims the body eventually.
Yeah, you're right, because you could still take DNA from the teeth and whatnot.
Yeah, like Jake says in the episode, all you need is a hair.
Is the piece? Yeah. Oh my gosh. So I am hoping that is not her sister. I really hope it's not.
Well, the psychic said that her sister was still alive, so I think there's still a chance that Sarah's alive.
Okay,
I don't know who that girl is because also what was her name? Mary Robertson. Like
They
Robinson.
said that there were 7 that there was one that was kind of unclaimed, so it could have been the person that was buried as Sarah.
Exactly.
So I think that might be.
But
the
she
case.
never saw Sarah, so we don't know for sure.
Exactly. But anyways, after that scene, we get into the fact that Oliver is found and dead.
Oh my gosh.
Ooh, Connor's boy toy?
Yeah, Connor's boy toy
In the club.
Yeah, in real life. That's so crazy.
I just thought he was blowing me off.
Of course, Connor's dude.
That's like the one excuse I think it's okay in the dating world. If you've gotten murdered, it's okay not to call back.
Thank you. And did you guys see were his eyes gouged out, or one of his eyes?
Yeah.
I think I saw that and I was like, what's going on here?
I couldn't tell. He looked really blue, though, but that could have been because didn't he get hung up? So he obviously couldn't breathe, so that makes complete sense.
Yeah.
Did they gouge his eyes out?
I don't know. I saw
looked
one
that
eye.
way.
I saw one eye, so I was like, I don't know what that is.
Maybe he was blowing someone else off too. Blowing off the wrong person.
Obviously blowing off the wrong person. Get snatched up like that. Gosh.
Jesus.
Well, we see Connor's reaction, and he's taken into the cyber crimes unit to be questioned, which is, obvious because he's the last person to date him, last person to see him. But we see Connor doesn't have any information, so I'm hoping that the killer did this or Bubonic did this. I don't know. What did you guys think when you saw that?
I think it's obviously the Flirchel killer. Because he killed Oliver because Oliver knew what he smelled like.
Too much evidence.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why he killed him.
Definitely.
Flirchel killer. All day.
In this episode, we find out who the freaking killer is.
So we think. I still don't know.
I know.
We
need to wait. You know what? We're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into it, guys. Stay tuned. Okay.
What?
So later we find out that Lindy, she's still upset that she's been pretty much stabbed in the back, and she confronts Sergeant Shaw. Now, this scene for me was just like I really was wanting more compassion from Shaw, but all we saw was just like, hey, I have to do what I have to do, and the bad guy comes first. You were helping me get the case that I needed. What did you guys think about her reaction when she confronted Shaw?
I mean, I thought it was natural. I like the way that Shaw confronted because she's so, hard on the outside, but you can tell, she's not immune to pain. I mean, she had her own niece go through this, and she saw what that did to her family, and so I feel like she was able to relate to Lindy, and Lindy should almost, excuse her for not telling her too much because it is important to catch the bad guy, and Lindy probably wouldn't have if she had this information.
Yeah, and so do you think that Shaw was basically trying to protect Lindy's feelings? I know that there were selfish intentions. She wanted her to catch Bubonic, but since she had to go through that when her niece was kidnapped, do you guys think that she was trying to help Lindy avoid that type of pain?
It sounded that way.
Yeah, well, it almost seemed like the profession comes first. She can relate to it, she understands it, but at the end of the day, emotion clouds reason, and emotion, it inhibits you from doing your job. So trying to keep it all out of there as much as possible, and then when you come to that T, you got to deal with it as it comes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you guys.
What did you think about her breaking the law to find her niece, though? Is that going to come back and bite her in the butt?
Anybody would. In that
you would do
position.
it.
I mean,
Anybody
Lindy's
would.
doing it. She was hacking to find her sister, so I think anyone would. But do we think they're going to use this later as blackmail on her?
I don't think so. I think it's too small of a storyline, and Lindy's obviously not going to tell anyone, and she's not going to say I did this to the cyber crimes
Well,
unit.
hopefully we don't see Lindy turn for the bad. I hope not.
That'd be awesome.
She's the killer in season 2.
Oh my gosh.
That's what I said last time.
She starts
schizo.
whacking off the
She's
Flirchel killer.
killing people in her sleep and doesn't even realize it.
Gosh,
Now, the CCU, they're breaking laws left and right. I don't think they really care.
I mean, obviously. But, okay, so then later we see that she is being helpful, and she gives her niece, Mary, she gives the number to Lindy so she can hear the full story. Now, she's already heard the story, and she thinks that the sister is dead. In this scene, how were you guys feeling for Lindy when she found out that her sister could possibly be dead, and how it all played out?
I was feeling probably the same as Lindy, incomplete. It's just it's one thing to hear
It's a good way to say it.
Okay, so you saw her hand, and then you felt her hand was a little cold. That's
They don't know if she's completely dead
That's not
or
enough.
not.
In
Yeah.
fact, it's like the itch is getting harder to scratch.
Yeah.
So I'm feeling even more driven to figure out, is she dead? Is she alive? I don't even care at this point.
Oh, God.
I just want some closure on the sister story.
To kind of jump ahead, I was so frustrated with the ending. I was wanting the sister. I didn't care as much about the killer because I still don't know if this killer is really the killer. So I wanted to see her sister and like settle that, close that door.
Mm-hmm. Do you think they're going to settle it this season or wait for a possible season 2? Because if not, I don't really like that there's no resolution. And Ryan and I have been talking about that we need some more storyline closure at some point, whether it be the sister or her love interest or who the hell's the killer. We need to start figuring out some storylines and ending some storylines.
But from a writer's standpoint, I don't think they're going to reveal the sister in this episode because that's been her whole motive. Once she finds out where her sister is, I feel like she's not going to be as motivated to work with the cyber crimes unit. So I think they're going to wait when we get picked up for season 2. I hope.
No way. We're finding the sister next episode.
No,
you think? Yeah, absolutely.
I don't.
Hands down. Storybook closed. You never know. You never know if there is a season 2, and to have that running mystery unsolved, they wouldn't do that. We will find out next episode.
I feel like you have to find one of two things. We already found out who the killer is, possibly. So I feel like they could either reveal to us the killer or reveal that the sister is either dead or alive. I don't think they're going to reveal both because then what are they going to go off for next season?
Who even has the guarantee of a season, though? That's what I'm saying.
Hey, we're going to get a season 2.
What if the sister...
We've said that,
is helping the killer, right? So she got Stockholm Syndrome when she was abducted, right? Now it's been years and years, and now she's out there helping.
It could be just like that one episode where the one girl was in rehab, and her and that other guy like put that whole plan together to scare her friends on that ship, the haunted ship. So you never know.
You never know.
Everyone needs someone. I don't think Jake could do it by himself. All this stuff, I don't think he could.
You already know who the killer is. So, yeah, I don't think Jake could do it by himself either. So, for me, part of me feels like Jake was framed, but we're going to get into that a little later.
Okay.
I think
we need to get to it.
We need to get to it. I know, we really do.
Let's keep going.
But anyways, so... I have so much to say! I know, we're freaking out. Well, let's get into Tessa because, you guys, we actually have a Tessa calling in later. So let's start talking about her character a bit. Nice. Before we get into Shaw and how she was attacked, Tessa, we see she's taking painkillers. And it looks like, it's just ibuprofen. And obviously, her friend didn't think that. Sophia didn't think that it was just that. So she goes and she investigates and she finds out that it's actually pills that could help with bipolar disorder or with seizures.
And I like how they bolded bipolar when they said it, when they showed it. So I was like, is she helping the killer? Is she the killer? Because it made me think, okay, maybe she's bipolar and psychotic, because that's what we thought from the beginning, that she could be the killer.
Right. Yeah, because it doesn't make sense for her to be going on these dates and we find out that she's trying to play like she's Lindy.
Yeah.
So... I thought she lied. I absolutely thought that she lied about having a brain tumor and this, that, and the other. I think it was one of the other things that she was actually diagnosed for. But we have a caller, and Tessa is actually on the line with us.
Ask her about these pills.
Hopefully she'll answer some questions for us. Hi, Theodora.
Hello.
How
are you?
You were amazing.
This episode. Way to go.
Aww.
I can't believe
it's
you
so
were...
sad. I was watching, I have to watch it again, because last night I was just freaking out. What's going on? Oh my God.
You were like the martyr of the episode, volunteering your own life for your friend's life.
Yeah.
I know. Really noble, huh?
Yeah, really noble. Because, I know that you had a certain death with the brain tumor, but I think I would ride that out. I'm not going to go try to hunt down a psychopath to kill me, personally.
Yeah, I know. It was quicker that way, I suppose. Me and Kirsty, me and Sophia do anything for her, clearly.
So are we...
It was...
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. I wanted to know, are we... is this actually the last time we're going to see you? We see that your throat is slit, but I feel like you play a huge part in a lot of the rest of the story. Are we going to see you at all anymore?
Possibly. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not sure what's happening in the next episode. I didn't read it. I don't know. So now I'm completely as dark as everyone else. So we'll see.
I guess we technically don't know if Tessa died.
Yeah, we saw.
Yeah, technically we don't know if you died or
Well,
not.
I mean, there was a lot of blood. So.
Yeah.
All right, that gives us confirmation.
A few blood transfusions. You never know.
Now,
Eye candy can do crazy things.
they can, and I think all the fans were sad to see you go. But I really want to know: were you lying about having a brain tumor, or was there something else? Was there another reason why you took those pills?
No, that was the truth. That was the truth. That was the whole thing. So with the parents, that's what we're not sure about, you know. So that was my big secret that I wanted to.
Okay, because
keep under wraps.
Part of me felt like maybe you know something about Sarah, because they say that the people that were put in the asylum were addicted to painkillers. So I'm like,
that's good.
Maybe we'll see something with that. But you said it's true that you have a brain tumor.
And then you never know.
Oh, you're right.
Brain
Theodora.
tumors make you do funny things.
Oh, Theodora, I thought you were actually an undercover cop, and I thought that's why you were going
a lot
out
of
with
people thought that.
all her dates. I mean, I thought that made sense. I didn't think that there was actually something wrong with you and you had a death wish.
No, that kind of came out of left field.
So I kind of want to know the reasoning. Why are you dressing up like Lindy and dating all of her virtual daters? Because I can't really wrap my finger on it. So can you explain that to us?
Look, I came and I worked out. Well, after Sophia told me that the killer is out there, I kind of took it upon myself to kind of bait him out in a way. That's why I was kind of using all her clothes and dating her matches, because I was like, well, it's kind of like you feel like got nothing to lose, you know. And then she definitely wasn't planned. I think he happened to be there and was going to kill Sophia. So I did whatever, you know. She did what she
So it's
had
like
to
you were
do.
the hero at the same
She's
time.
a braver woman than I.
So kind of like an undercover cop, but not really an undercover cop.
Yeah, I mean, once you said in the episode, I knew it was you. So it's like when you had that date with all the people, and you identified that you thought it was Jake. I mean, were you planning to tell anyone, or were you hoping that once you did find the killer, he would kill you? I mean, what did you want to have the outcome be?
Yeah, I didn't want to tell anyone else, because I think Sophia would have stopped me during my crazy mission, because I think anyone would have if they heard what she was doing.
Any good friend.
But yeah, I mean, so she as soon as she knew, I think she must have known what she'd been seeing. I don't know. She has that date with Destiny.
Destiny.
So that's the killer.
Another killer.
Another suspect. Now, I was not convinced that Jake was the person who killed you. I really still think that even though he's revealed as the killer, how was he with Lindy? And then, then he was able to...
Well, Lindy?
He drugged her.
Lindy was sleeping, right? So.
Yeah.
So much
And
sense.
she wakes up and she's like, "Oh, I feel like I'm like hungover," and he's like, "That's weird." But we already saw the episode where he put the drugs on the pillow. So obviously he did that to Lindy so he could walk out.
Yeah. I have a question for you. It'd really help us out, Theodora. Who killed you?
Well,
was it Jake?
That I can say.
You can tell.
I don't know. I couldn't tell. They're wearing a mask.
No, they weren't wearing a mask.
No, they weren't wearing a mask.
I knew it was you.
You knew it was you.
It's okay.
Uh-huh.
Are you getting caught up in a lie right now? Oh gosh. It's caught.
Tessa, I want to ask one other thing. So your character, Sophia says, she's been acting so out of character. So was it, she was, living this wild life because she knew she had nothing to lose at this point, and she was just doing a lot of things out of character to just try to live out the rest of her days and explore life?
Yeah, I mean that was the main drive for it. I think she found out when she was at university and was like, oh wow, like what do you do when you find out this huge thing? And so she kind of just didn't tell her parents and to anyone, and just off she went to traveling and seeing what else she could do. That was kind of her motivation. And then I think she just happened to, why not hang out with Sophia in New York? Why not? Right. It's crazy. It's crazy. It was such a crazy episode yesterday.
I know.
So
It
was the best. The best
it really
episode.
That's killer.
But let's let fans get a chance to get to know you really quickly.
Yeah, so can you tell us maybe a story specifically from your childhood that made you want to become an actor?
Made me want to become an actor. When I was younger, I did some child modeling, so I kind of was in McDonald's commercials and things.
Oh wow!
And I just really I was like, oh, this is fun. I thought everyone kind of did it. Everyone went and was fun in front of the camera. And then there's nothing else during school. It was the only thing that I really liked doing. There was nothing else that I wanted to do. And so I played Jim Hawkins in Treasure Island.
Oh,
I think I did that. And I was like, I could play a boy in the pirate boy.
Jimbo.
And
That's great.
that I think got me really. That was my first role. Treasure Island.
Aww.
Treasure Island.
We always remember you first.
Yeah.
What's one of your best
love
memories on set of Eye Candy or after hours of filming?
My memories?
Yeah, one of your best memories on set or maybe after hours.
The first scene I shot with Kirsty was in the cybercrimes unit when we were playing foosball. And I think that was actually hilarious because everyone they've done their 7 episodes by that point, so it was a really nice atmosphere, on set. And so I'd never before had to act and play foosball, which was really quite a challenge. And so we really got quite competitive straight away. That was pretty fun.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, it was all so much fun. And the deaths I've never died before either on camera. So that was
neither have
crazy.
What did you do to prepare for that role when you found out you were going to die?
That was so intense. And I was like, Kristen, no! Don't
do this to
it.
I know some of the actors said they did things to prepare for their role. Did you? I mean, I don't know how you prepare for a death scene.
No.
Yeah, it's so intense. There's not really much you can do, because obviously in the beginning you've got to know that you're not I don't think that I'm coming in to die, but it's just, I think it really helps with that knife. As soon as you see that knife, you can't help but be terrified.
These a real knife?
Yeah, that looks really
there's a knife on my face.
Oh gosh. Now, Theodora, I also want to ask one more question about the show. If you are still alive, what would you like to see the writers do with your character?
Good question.
I think she was cool if she ended up killing the killer. I think that would be fun.
That would be nice.
I like that.
So just for the record, by the
Pink Dress
killer,
is
you
pretty
mean...
badass. She's been around the world.
Yeah, rainforest and everything. Yeah, she'd be awesome. What were you saying, Ryan?
He was making a joke.
I'm trying to milk information. It's not working. You guys are a vault.
Yes.
Theodora, are you working on other projects right now, or do you have a future project in mind or a role that you'd like to play?
There's so many roles. I'm just about to work on an independent horror movie, actually.
Oh, cool.
Over the next couple of weeks. So another kind of scary stuff. Maybe something lighter. It'd be nice. Something where there's no blood involved.
That would be nice.
Is this going to be another death scene for your actor in this independent movie?
Pardon?
I was just wondering if your character would die again in this film that's coming
in
up.
the next one? Possibly. It's very likely.
No, it's very likely.
I'm going to say that. Very likely. Yeah.
Well, I'm a fan of the way you died. I'd watch it again.
You're a fan? I'm going to watch it. I'm going to watch it again because last night I literally couldn't. I was kind of freaking out.
With all the blood?
Yeah. Wait, one last question. Who do you think is better for Lindy? Do you like the Tindy love or the Jindy love? Who are you rooting for, even after the killer's revealed?
Well, after last night, I think maybe Tommy's the way to go.
All right. Well, I like the Tindy love as well.
I'm going to go with Tommy on this one.
Theodora, can I ask you a question?
Go for it.
If you could choose any way to die,
Oh.
how would you die? How would you go?
God.
Keep in mind, this is the
That's a
last
horrible
thing you ever do.
Yeah, that's scary.
It is. It's yeah.
Well, is it being filmed on TV?
I would
or
want to
like,
die
is it-
really quickly.
Die really quickly, like gunshot to the head. What are we talking about here? Shot in the head.
Definitely.
I haven't heard that one
yeah.
yet.
That's scary.
Kind of scary.
Well, maybe you can
You
influence
wanted
the
to get
writers.
to know me. Now you know how I want to die. Just in case.
Well, Theodora, you're so fun, and we're so glad that you called in.
Of course. So good to talk to you all.
You have to come to
I was
studio
over
when you're in
there
LA.
with you, and now it's raining over in New York here.
Oh no.
Please come visit AfterBuzz if we are ever in LA.
Yes.
I will. Definitely come by. You'll be like, oh, Tessa? That's great.
Well, you have a great evening. I'm sure fans love this one.
Awesome. Thank you. So nice to speak to you.
Thanks,
Alrighty.
Theodora.
Bye.
Go knock him dead.
Today.
Oh, she's so sweet.
She is really sweet. I love when you can feel someone's personality through the interview. It's like,
Yeah.
just makes it that much better.
Absolutely.
So I did still have a few questions about what was going on with Tessa, but I'll save it for later. So let's get into Hamish and this Babylon shutdown.
Execute.
Yeah.
So now you thought Hamish was the
I
killer.
thought Hamish was the killer, and you know what? I still don't know if Jake is all the way by himself. So Hamish could still.
I have a theory about that, but I'll let you talk through Hamish's story.
Okay, so basically this scene, we see that Connor is. So Connor's trying to do a story for Hamish, and long story short, he's playing both sides of the field. He wants to keep his job. He also wants
To help Tommy.
which I think he's leaning more towards helping Tommy.
Mm-hmm.
But we see Tommy gets locked in this
The server room.
the server room, and Hamish isn't stupid. He has cameras everywhere.
Yeah.
So they basically are cornered, and they make a what do they do? They make kind of not a contract. I'm trying to get the word out. Help me, someone. They're trying to compromise. Since you've been caught, you're running Babylon and this, that, and the other. Let's compromise.
Well, that was Hamish's idea.
Yeah, that was definitely Hamish's idea.
Yeah, because he is actually a partner in hosting the Babylon website, which, he could get in a whole lot of trouble and be responsible for
find
all
out.
these people's deaths.
Because there's suicides and everything on this site.
He's funding a horrible website.
I mean, so I think that's why they came up with this compromise, because he could get shut down, or I was thinking that Hamish might throw a bullet in Tommy's head. I don't know. I was just thinking at any point.
You can ask Brittany. I was yelling at the TV.
You didn't want him to?
Well, no. All right. So he's like this mastermind. He's like,
Right.
Just type execute.
I know.
Type execute. Babylon will go away, and then I'll give you some, clue to the killer or whatever. It's like. I was just yelling at Tommy. Like, Tommy, you idiot, get him in the station.
Right.
Get him on camera, get evidence before you start doing all this. Like, just, arrest him.
He's framing you.
I don't know. I agree
You
with...
have no idea what execute is going to do.
I thought of that.
You have no idea.
I thought of that. But I agree
how
with
you can
Tommy's
trust him?
decision. I agree with Tommy's
In
decision.
hindsight, you agree because it's like, because
we know what happened.
What else can he
We
do?
get it.
Total
We get a clue.
shoddy policeman work. If I was a supervisor, you'd be getting a pink slip. Yeah, I was actually pleasantly surprised that it worked out for him though. Because
Yeah.
Hamish, you could tell, he's just like, oh, I can't believe that worked.
Because then he gives Tommy the clue, which then
on the hard
He's
drive
off the
is
hook.
which then
for Babylon.
eliminates Jake's alibi for the night that Lindy was kidnapped. So it was a good clue. Nice clue, Hamish.
It was a good clue. I still think that he has something to do with the killer, or he's still working with Bubonic. I just don't think he's a good guy.
Well,
I don't think he's a good guy at all,
I have a
especially
question
for
for you
throwing that
guys.
party.
Who killed Reese?
Reese was killed. Wait, we saw that Reese was killed by someone from the asylum.
Some
Reese was killed
random
from someone who
person, right?
on Babylon, because Jake, we'll put Jake in quotes, put Reese's murder for sale for $10,000 for someone to then murder Jake for $10,000. So who do you guys
get
think?
away with it.
Exactly.
$10,000.
So who do you guys think actually did kill Reese? Here's my theory.
I don't know. Yeah,
you don't
tell us
know?
your theory.
So Connor says, if anybody asks, I did it for the story. He said that line. And I think that Connor killed Reese.
Really?
Yeah, I do.
Why?
Why would he say that? I did, if anyone, because they're about to. Connor did not want to help Tommy. go into the server room and find the killer, and then he decides to help, but he's like, if anyone asks, I did it for the story. That line
I think
was...
that's he's saving face, his reputation as a journalist.
Yeah.
You know? I'm not doing this,
Maybe.
I'm not doing this to help you, Tommy.
So you guys don't think he killed Reese?
I don't think he killed Reese.
He wasn't at the
know.
party. He wasn't at Lindy's birthday party.
I still don't think he. I mean, if you're right, great job. You should get some, we should have got writer's credit. But I don't know if Connor is the person that killed him. I still think it was the person that took the fall. Because my thing is, if I think that the killer is using people from this asylum to basically do his thing, that's why I think it's a team of people.
Definitely a team of people. We think too.
So yeah, I think it's a team of people. But the fact that they brought up the asylum this time, I just paid so much attention to that because I feel like that could either be where Sarah went, that could be where the killer is using certain people because they may not mentally be there.
Because it's right beside the graveyard on Hard Island.
Yeah, so a part of me believes that I think the person that took the fall was the person that killed Reese. Maybe he didn't get the 10 grand. He didn't know. Like, someone else could have been helping him, but I think he did kill him.
We haven't seen Jake's home yet, so maybe he lives in the asylum. Maybe he's just taking her back to his place.
Do you know,
He sleeps in a coffin.
do you know when they were actually at the bed and breakfast, I thought they were going to be sleeping at the asylum. So I don't know why I thought this, but I'm like, oh, they're on track.
Well, his car just happened to break down.
Right.
It's so convenient that he's a lawyer and he knows all these little rules and how to get around them.
Yeah, and he knows how to go through the public records. He knows who to contact. And I think, in the scene where Tommy's in the car that's moving, he's free. I think that's why his car broke down. Like, he's been doing this the whole time. It makes sense if he's the killer or whatever we want to say he is. But I definitely think there's other people involved.
Or maybe he's just doing a little pro bono work.
All right, check this out. Remember that delivery guy on the bicycle that ran into Jake? That was a weird scene for me.
It was.
Right?
Random, too.
Really random scene. They put a lot of attention on the actual...
On the guy.
The guy on the bike,
I agree with that.
giving him attitude.
And then they focus on the bruise after a lot.
So I think that guy, the guy on the bicycle, was in cahoots with Jake to give him an excuse for the rib, which might have been an injury he got while murdering somebody or something.
I agree with that.
Didn't he get that from
Shaw?
Yeah, from Mary Robinson. Oh, not Mary Robinson. From Shaw when he goes into her house and he attacks her. I think she was like nudging him so much and pushing him against
That
stuff.
is how he got it, but he needed an excuse to tell Lindy that she'd believe, so he probably put on Babylon, hit a guy on with your bike in the street.
Corner this time.
Exactly.
And be a dick afterwards. $5,000.
But I do it.
Yeah.
So, and then that brings me to the fact that why are Jake and Hamish not working together? If he knows, like, if it is that he's working on Babylon, he's putting, like, these things out there for people to, hey, kill this person, hey, do this at this time. They could be working together with Babylon. I don't know.
I think Hamish is just a media guy who wants a story, and he'll do anything for the story. He doesn't care.
He will.
Nightcrawler. He's a Nightcrawler.
He is a Nightcrawler. But at the same time, he's creepy as hell. I think he could so be the killer. I don't see the obsession with Lindy, but like we said, it could be a group of people. Now let's go ahead and just get into the fact that Jake's revealed as a killer, and I think he was framed.
Well, I mean, do we believe Shaw? I mean, she said she'd do anything to catch the killer. Why would she write Jake's name? We saw that she'd certainly got to look at his face before she went down. So why would she write Jake's name if it wasn't Jake? Unless it's a different Jake, and she just was about to write the last name. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, I think the writers did a good job of setting it up as Jake. It makes sense. Everybody's saying, like, oh, it was shocking, but not shocking, because he shows up to her door unannounced and all these different creepy things. He's the obvious killer. But when it comes to Shaw, I feel like she's lied before, and we can't, like, put her off as someone who wouldn't do something like that. I think she would easily frame someone to get to the actual killer. So
that's a good point.
I don't know.
Yeah, and I mean, we haven't seen him with the knife and anybody yet, but we do see him wearing gloves and, like, staring out into the water like he's Dexter taking a victim out on his boat, right? I mean, he's playing the part this episode if he's not.
So good at what he does. Manipulation, misdirection. I mean, he's so smart. And he gets away with so much.
And he's so sexy and suave that you have no clue that he's a killer.
I told him he was. When he sat right in your seat and he was in the studio, I told him a million times he was the killer. I'm like, you're the killer, you're the killer, you're the killer. And I'm like, and if you are the killer, you have to call us during the finale. So
think about it. If you have a good-looking guy like that that's about to like make out with you, and then he just pulls out a knife and cuts your throat, you're almost like, okay, cool, I accept that fate.
50 Shades, yo.
Right? I like that.
I think fans were definitely agreeing.
I do not want to go out like that.
That's how Brittany would go out.
Yes.
That's how Brittany would go out.
That's how Brittany wants to go out. That scene.
Cutthroat by a cute guy.
End scene.
I think Jindy fans are feeling the same thing. I was reading some tweets, and one said, "Can I still be Team Jindy, or is that wrong?" I mean, what do we think about that right now? Can there still be love interest?
During our first episode, I said that I wanted Tommy to be the killer because I wanted Lindy to fall in love with the killer, and that's happened. So I like that Jake is the killer. I like that I'm still rooting for Jindy. I think that love is messy, you know, and it's got these weird, twisted turns, and I like that this show has highlighted it. If Jake is the killer, I'm fine with it. Right, Jindy all the way.
Jindy!
I mean, I'm still Tindy, but Ryan Cooper, another fan, tweeted him, "How could you? You're perfection." And Ryan responds, hashtag, "I'm sorry, not sorry," hashtag, "broken creatures bite." What did you guys think about Broken Creatures Bite? So how did Lindy really broke his heart? Based off of flirtual dates? Like, how else could she have
Probably broke his heart back in middle school.
Oh, gosh.
She made him who he is today. And now he's getting back at her.
I mean, how many of
all about
us...
these, like, conspiracy stories.
But they didn't know each other before Flirtual, right?
They didn't. So that's why I'm just like, my question is, how is he broken? How did she break his heart? It can't just be she went on dates. I thought it had something to do with Tommy. The fact that she was
maybe?
Tommy or Ben, someone that she loved, and he wasn't taken into consideration. Because we have to remember, this guy's been watching her for quite some time now. But I don't know how else he could have broken her heart.
Well, I feel like, you know, if you're dating someone online, I mean, sometimes people don't think that, okay, they might be dating 5 other people. So the fact that he can see her with all these other guys, I mean, she's gone out with like 20 plus guys, you know, trying to like figure out who the killer is. But, you know, maybe he wasn't initially like this, but then after seeing her with all these people, that broke his heart. I don't know. I hope it's more than that. I hope there's some like bad history.
Sarah, Lindy's sister, is what connects it all.
I mean, I definitely think that has to do with it, and that goes into, who do you guys think actually kidnapped Sarah? Let me just go ahead and say my thing. The reason I say I think maybe Jake has been framed is because I don't see him as the person that might have kidnapped her. You know, when Mary was basically rescued by the cyber crimes unit, I feel like in order to get Lindy to work with them, I think Shaw and Tommy may have kidnapped Sarah. I mean, it's my hunch that they still have something to do with this, because they know so much about Sarah, and I don't think they know she's alive.
Well, didn't we get to see the guy who kidnapped Sarah? And I think the guy who kidnapped Sarah and the killer is different, because Jake, we'll just say, if he is the killer, like, he wants Lindy to fall in love with him because he's kind of helping her find her sister, so like he wants her to see that he's like the only one she should love. But then I also think that the kidnapper is separate from the flirtual killer, because
I do too.
We see the guy, we kind of do see his face whenever Mary says, "Sarah's hand's cold, somebody help." Isn't that the killer who comes in and was like, "Oh no, what happened?"
No. I thought what I got from that scene was the girl ran, and basically she screamed out like, "Oh, her hands are cold," so they were trying to take care of her. They were the people that had her captive, but I don't know if he could have been the actual killer. He might have just been the person that was watching the girls.
Well, but Mary explains every night he'd come in and he'd pick one of us, and that's when they showed the guy's face.
So you think that there's just one that's holding them hostage?
I don't know.
Pick one for what?
I could imagine sex, I think.
Trafficking or something?
Yeah, for sure, because she said, you know, you were hoping that he didn't pick you, but he'd give you pills to keep you quiet, so...
I mean,
sounds like Friday night.
Sounds like it's Friday night.
Whoa, killer in studio, everybody.
There's only 2 possibilities. Either Jake knows something about the whereabouts of Sarah, or, you know, how she ended up, or he doesn't. Because when they were in the archive room, you know, looking through the unclaimed body photos of Jane Doe, John Doe, and Sarah's picture is missing.
Jake clearly took that.
Either he did or he didn't. That's the thing. Is either he's connected to it, and if he is, then, you know, we got this big, you know, asylum conglomerate of killers, you know, send in the Justice League, you know, kind of thing. Or he's not, and he's actually sincerely trying to help her because maybe he really is falling for her and he doesn't want to kill her anymore. Yeah, maybe he wants to stop.
Maybe
some resolution next episode.
So just so you got everyone listening,
And now, your AfterBuzz TV prediction.
The lights help. I feel inspiration.
Kind of freaked me out. I wasn't ready for
Clears
that.
everything up for me.
I feel inspiration.
I'm gonna go with that. It's yes, Jake is still the flirtatious killer, but he's not the kidnapper, and Sarah's still alive.
Okay. Now, I have more of a question. If Sophia and Connor hadn't come that day, do you think that Jake would have killed her then if he really is the killer? The day that he came over the house to make dinner for her?
Very good question. I'm gonna go with no because he's in it for the perfect one. It seems like he wants to be with the perfect one. I didn't see that he ever wanted to kill her.
I don't know. We see in this next episode that we're going to get into that he's like choking the hell out of her. I don't think that he...
I missed that next down scene.
He's choking out Lindy?
Yeah, so in the
Whoa.
next, for everybody that didn't see that one, in the next scene, Jake is choking Lindy after he says, "Hi, eye candy." So he pretty much reveals to her that he's the freaking killer.
It might just be another sex scene.
50 Shades.
No, they're in
like
the
50 Shades.
Hashtag.
They're near the
Choking's in.
asylum. They're on Hart Island. They're on Hart Island. I think we're going to see in this episode that he reveals everything to her because he says, "Hi, eye candy." And the quote that I wrote down was, "You haven't lived until you're reborn." I think he could easily try to kill her. He's been waiting on that.
You haven't lived till you're reborn. Maybe you just got plastic surgery.
And then we also see that...
Just kidding.
Oh, man.
Just kidding. I mean, he fixes everybody's flaws, maybe.
Maybe, and we also see that Sophia's kidnapped. So I think next episode she's gonna get close to death. Is my prediction. And a lot of things are gonna be revealed. I really hope Tommy comes in as the hero because now he knows that Jake is the person that could be the killer, and she's with him. So I'm thinking that.
I love that line where Lindy looks at Shaw and she says, "It's her fault and it's your fault." Exodus.
Do you guys have any itching predictions from next week?
I just want to see Sarah. I just want to see her face. I'm sick of seeing photos of her.
You think she's alive or dead?
I think she's alive. I think she's alive doing something somewhere, and we need to see her 'cause I'm sick of seeing photos of her. And not
Just
knowing
burying bodies. Just helping
You know
out.
what? I think that's. I
her.
think.
Digging up ditches in the corner.
Yeah,
Oh my
Sarah's a
God.
ditch digger. I think that it would be okay with me if we never actually found out the whereabouts of Sarah, because sometimes in life mysteries just aren't solved. Missing people are missing people for a reason, and she will never find out. But I do think there's more to the flirtatual killer than just Jake, and we're going to find that out too.
You guys, let us know what you think in the comments below and on Twitter using the hashtag ABTVICandy. We've run out of time, but this episode was the best to date. Yeah. I know, it was so great. You guys can keep in touch with me at Teznos on Twitter and Instagram. Please tell me what you thought about this week's episode, and again, use that hashtag.
I am at Cinematic Escape or cinematicescape.com. See you guys next week. Can't wait.
I'm Ryan Malaty. You can find me at Ryan Malaty on all social media outlets. Thanks for joining us.
And hey, guys, you guys can find me at Brittany Baldassari, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Woo woo! All right, we'll see you guys next week for the finale.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.